Hey, welcome back to another episode of The Other Side. Kaylee Wilson in Auckland, New Zealand this time, and Jared Thompson joining us with special guest from Las Vegas.
Yeah, you're back in the office. I'm in my same office I usually use with my standard issue dog in the over-the-shoulder look. So soon to be on my lap, but hope things have been going well for you. They've been going nice over here. I'm pretty excited about, my highlights for the week. We're coming up almost a year to the day of the knockout stage of the 2019 Women's World Cup. The American women won, and the Washington Post over here did a nice retrospective kind of oral history with some of the stars of those games, using Blinder as the tool to help them manage and record the interviews. And I thought it was especially a nice treatment and kind of a special way to do that storytelling. It wasn't your typical side-by-side kind of reporting. And so I was really impressed by the way they were innovative about storytelling. And I think for us as a company, it was a really nice full circle, exploration to know, where we've come in a year, because it was a year ago that, we had Megan Rapinoe on a Blinder voice call with Dan Patrick's show. And, Dan's in his studio, televised to the world. Megan's on the bus, but you couldn't see Megan on the bus, going to France to play a game in against France in the Women's World Cup. And we kind of took upon ourselves as a company to say, wouldn't it have been great if Dan could have seen, what Megan saw, the teammates behind her, the camaraderie, all those things, the environment she's in, and kind of led us down the line of really pushing, through to Blinder video and making that an important goal for the company. And now we're here a year later, and Megan Rapinoe's doing Blinder videos from her house with the Washington Post, talking about, Women's World Cup's victory, the issues that went on before, during, and after that with the gender discrimination pay lawsuit, some political issues that happened, and other things along the way. So really, really exciting story to read. We've got some highlights here, and I'll link to it as well. Kaylee, what's been happening over there? I know the women are doing some innovative things on that side of the globe.
Yeah, Jared, women have been leading the charge over here as well, in my eyes, with some of the innovative work they're doing. And the Black Ferns, the New Zealand women's rugby team, their sevens team in particular, through work of Niall Williams and Stacey Flawler, has caught my eye. They've been speaking with rival players and checking in with athletes that they would regularly be playing against on the World Sevens circuit. An interview that I felt was really, really special was one with Elia Green. Elia's an Australian, an Olympic gold medalist from Rio in women's sevens rugby. Elia is fast. She is strong. She's Fijian ethnicity. And it was a brilliant conversation. I thought, just getting to know Elia, I feel far more strongly that I know Elia now. I wish to see Elia play. I want to see how fast she is. I want to embrace the rivalry between the ladies involved in that interview that clearly get on very well, but are clearly incredibly competitive as well. So just the lockdown giving people the opportunity to delve into who is playing and not just what they're doing and what the score is and so forth. I found brilliant, and I hope to see a whole lot more of athletes speaking with athletes and letting us inside those relationships. I thought it was magic work from New Zealand Rugby. I've passed on my congratulations to Libby Boggs, who's overseeing things there. But let's see more of it. Let's see more of athletes talking to athletes and shaking things up.
Yeah, it's going to be really important, especially trying to come out of a pandemic, right? Of, really supporting those teams and those leagues you're interested in. It's not going to be enough to tell us when and where. You're going to have to make you have to rebuild an audience and give them a reason why. And I think that video and that series they're doing is really set the stage for some nice response and some nice content that I think people will be very happy with. I remember when I was, in the sports PR world, it always drove me nuts when I saw other people's promotions, or maybe the marketing was about, buy tickets, or, this game Saturday. Everyone knows where the games are. Everyone knows how much they cost. It's really easy to find out that material. It's about who's playing. Why is that important? And those are the stories they're telling, I think, need to be told more often. It's been nice to kind of reveal what's behind the curtain. And so in a lot of ways.
Yeah. No, they turned me into a fan of the Australian women's sevens rugby team, which is not a natural place for a New Zealander to be. So Maybe not actually. Maybe they've just turned me into an Elia Green fan, and I'll be able to separate that from supporting.
Good enough. You'll pay attention more.
Yeah, I will. Hey, a few other little short bits and pieces, Jared. Tom George, so one of our clients, British Rowing. Tom George has used his lockdown to set a new indoor rowing 2-kilometre record in the UK, 5:39.6. Rowing's a big deal in Britain. The aerobic capacity of those athletes is spectacular, and Tom, who's part of the British 8, has just become the fastest athlete in history from a very proud nation. So congrats to Tom and British Rowing for getting some feel-good stories out about what athletes are doing during lockdown.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do in lockdown, right? To train. I saw some video and pictures from that. I will say there should be an asterisk on that record because it looks like he's going inside and outside, maybe a shed in his yard. It's one thing to have, the record. It's one thing to make your own classification of a hybrid record. So I was very impressed.
Nice work, Tom.
My card is in the mail, Tom. Over here, I'll just say, I think we've kind of realized that we're going to be living this way for a while, and it's no doubt that if you're a business, if you're a media company, if you're on the sports side, whatever it is, you've got to drive revenue. You've got to make money to keep your business alive. It's not just going to happen by magic. And one of our clients, KDVR TV in Denver, has a paid promotion show that they've been using Blinder for several weeks now to kind of put together that show from the host home, the guest home. And obviously, it's the kind of thing that's going to keep that station from having to make some drastic changes, some drastic cuts, because now they still keep that revenue afloat. So a couple highlights here of the show. It's really just a show about some local companies, local vendors or distributors who make products in Denver, make products for the Coloradans, and it might be something that that group is interested in, but thought it was a nice way of making sure that those people get to keep their jobs, and where other companies and other places, they've kind of axed those things right away. And then lastly, I want to give a shout out to Bo White and the COSIDA team once again. Mm-hmm. They've just had another big week as kind of the what would have been the typical college sports season in the United States would have wound down, and they're celebrating their year with their academic All-America achievements again, with interviews from committee chairs and the student athlete award winners. Always a great story. Those people are always, the top of the top, and a great source of envy for me to hear those stories. But I'll give hats off to Bo White. He's remotely producing these through Blinder, pumping out several a day, and managing that all pretty well for being a one-man show. And so just a tip of the cap to you, Bo. And we hope to have a lot of these clients of ours come and join us on the other side.
Hey, Jared, and I'm really looking forward to your conversation with Bo White.
Looking forward to how Bo's producing these things from his home office, and the goals and the outcomes that COSIDA has had from changing over to a video format from what was more of a traditional press release in the past, as they announce these things. Bo doesn't spend a lot of time, Bo doesn't have a lot of time to put these together. They usually don't inform the award winners till a few days before they announce. So he's really clumping, what could be a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen video packages into a few days, and we'll talk with him about how he gets that done.
Looking forward to it.
All right, that's another week of The Other Side. Hope you enjoyed the show and the guests that are coming up this week and in the future. Until next time, Kaylee, hope you have a good one. Let your parents know when they can pick you up on the train station, all right?
See you, Jared.
All right, take care.